Let's greet Serezhinka and wish him a good morning. Serezhinka slept, woke up, and now it's already lunchtime. He had a restful sleep, had a meal, and I assumed he would go back to sleep. We should continue. What happened while Serezhinka was sleeping? There is insufficient space available, and the cells are scattered, broken, and mixed up. I have reached a point where I no longer have any knowledge or understanding of the situation. They mixed 2 bases of twins, 40 heads, and drove them out onto the street. Lyosha drove 100 heads to that point because he no longer belonged here. But this is already, it turns out, morning night. These are today's. They were moved to the base located over there. After freeing 15 cells, we will now head to the field. We will be organizing a chase for the strayed ones in the field. That's why I woke up Serezhinka. We labeled all of them. Why do we label? We immediately trim the ears of the rams to make it simpler to differentiate them later on. However, if a lamb becomes ill, it will be easier to locate its mother because of the label. If the lambs got separated among the sheep herders, it will be easier to pull them back to their mama later. If they are twins, we put 2 splints for both the lamb and the ewe. Got it? All right, we have obtained it, correct? There is no need to explain anything further. Where did this scrap come from? Can you please provide the source or origin of this piece of scrap material? From which origin did this scrap material come? In this particular location, we were able to successfully put it on this lamb. The lamb itself is also unwell and experiencing sickness. It did not work out, it did not come together. We untied her. It is also us, right? There is simply no point in showing. She was tied up, standing all night long, now untied. Not throughout the entire night. She was tied up for a total of 8 hours in duration. She did not accept this lamb. Let us attempt with this ewe at present. She is experiencing a miscarriage. Her udders are full. And here lies the tiny one. She is lying on top of him. We will now proceed to perform the procedure once again. We are hopeful that she will accept. What else is there? What else is there? We need to administer an injection to her in that location. She is suffering from mastitis. Is it also necessary to treat that? Let us start filming. Right now, first we will go catch some nonsense. There is mastitis over there. Additionally, there is a broken leg that needs attention. Let's apply a splint. Well, it appears that the mother accidentally stepped on it in a clumsy manner, causing the little leg to break from the bottom, and the joints are all weak, as well as the bones being weak. I meant to say cartilage, not bones. The rearrangements are constant. Then in the evening, we'll mix the singles and introduce them to the twins. At that base, there are already more sets of twins. That's the entirety of the information available. What can I say? They deviated. We will have to transport them back to the base now in any case. As a result of one ewe straying, it is highly likely that it was a false pregnancy that occurred. She didn't accept. Well, that's it. At the base, there was a split, and they were checking the marks on the buttocks to see who had recently given birth. Right now, there are 3 ewes gathered around one lamb. Amazing sounds, don't you agree? You'll dream of this bleat and bar, 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 bar. Whenever I think about the need to prepare for the mud, especially in terms of clothing, I always find that everything gets dirty right away. It's important to note that we're not living in sanitary conditions here, so the dirtiness is even more pronounced. All right, let's commence. It's all in the blood. When you slice the lamb thinly, they become dirty all over the place and it can be quite messy. They criticize you constantly while you're flattering them. You're the one embracing them. Did Serajinka miss that? Yes, Serajinka. You mentioned that you didn't require anything. I didn't expect you to sleep deeply for 3 hours. Consequently, a decision was made. Considering that we had previously sent 100 from the corner of the base to that point in the morning, we proceeded to herd the twins to that location and then drove them out to the pasture. At present, there are 40 ewes and 40 heads of twins, making a total of 120 heads at that specific spot. Tolik personally drove the herd that we were pursuing, while Tioma kept a watchful eye on a group of 40 heads, and I took on the task of preparing a base for the cows that we were herding and guiding towards our destination. Due to the lack of space in the pen, it is too early to mix them with other twins. They should, at the very least, remain there for an additional 3 days, becoming accustomed to it, in order for each one to clearly understand where their mama is located. Well, that is the end of it. We will mix it either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Is that all right? Yes, it is. It's nice to talk to an intelligent person oneself. While they were catching the lambs, Igor called. What those small grants gave us, 1 million there, not 1,250,000. It was decided that we would buy a shock chamber. It costs exactly 1,150,000, and we will buy another meat grinder, exactly 100,000 rubles, and we mastered it, and 2 more small grants are on the way there. Did the Baronov socialize with the Akhman family? Misha stated that this Rostika person caused a lot of problems for them. According to Misha, their situation was greatly affected by Rostika's actions. All right, Misha's statement suggests that Rostika's actions had a negative impact on their circumstances. Very well then. And shall we proceed to drive out those troublesome twins? Very well then. Okay, well, can you not see that I am busy? I am currently in the process of releasing the cow from the bass in order to drive these 40 ewes into their designated area. Please understand the urgency of the situation. Now I will clear the field and stack it up. Then we can drive the animals in. We also need to bring the cribs here. There are exactly 4 cribs in that location. Tolyan is operating the flock away from the watering hole. Well, yes, exert pressure to move him in this direction. Okay, we have stopped. We are expecting about 2 more small grants to be approved, and they should be on their way soon. At the fair, we approached, talked to Nikita. They also want Dorpers. The guys are involved with goats. And with goats and a greenhouse, since they have a very young calf, they become members of a cooperative, and money is allocated to them within the cooperative, and then grants are given to them based on these allocations. The scheme is actually very simple and straightforward in its implementation. The singular obligation is to engage in employment for a period of 5 years thereafter, so as to prevent any queries or investigations from the government. What?
Some are herded, others are pushed, and those in their 20s will drive out. Tolik will be the one to drive them out. We will proceed to administer an injection to the cow that is suffering from mastitis. In essence, we have all scattered. Our morning routine starts. We'll begin pounding single cells based on the instructions we receive regarding the bases. Then form them into small groups and drive them further to avoid interference in order to free up the cells. The cells are already packed to the brim. In the morning we let them go, and right after letting them go, we would set them free and then refill them, released and filled up. More than 35 individuals lost their jobs in the span of 24 hours. And this is us just yesterday. Well, we will not conceal or keep such things hidden from view. Well, we are all human beings. I reached the age of 33, which is the same age as Christ when he passed away. Vadim Eduardovich was reading an article and mentioned that if you want to know how you will look up there in heaven, then look at your photos at 33 years old. Is this the age where we settle down? Yes, indeed. At this very moment, we are the closest to it. And right beside us, none other than you, our dear friend. You will turn 33, but you look 44. Well, once you hit the age of 40, that's it. You can't be dragged anywhere. There's absolutely nothing that can be done with you anymore. The old and boring Serioja. You can work and work, but what does he actually do? He simply wakes up and eats, without any notable achievements or productivity. It took approximately 40 minutes to capture the footage. Then I took a nap, woke up, and had a meal. He just finished filming, he'll be here soon, and then he'll take a nap. I think it's the fixies who are keeping you busy. You are definitely not involved in editing. Well, while there is free time, let us engage in a conversation about something. Please throw some quick questions my way, and let's discuss. What is the planned quantity of lambs? The intention is to have a total of over 1,500 lambs. Eventually, we end up having a significant number of twins, resulting in a high lamb count. In terms of percentage, I cannot say exactly, but the reality is that more than 30% of them are twins. There are 3 sets of triplets. Triplets. This is not good, actually. Exactly, we'll take someone from the triplets and substitute them. Over there is the ewe that is good. She has turned around, but she possesses milk. We will most likely put the lamb underneath her body. Now let us proceed to take a small rectangle and smoothly slide it underneath. Right there, we have just a little bit of distance remaining towards the left direction. Tired of walking. Oh, and we must relocate the pens. Each pen is designed for 10 heads. Might be intriguing to someone. We arrived with the Dorpers. We should receive the reimbursement for them by month end. Sick in the end, but that's not certain either. Are they sick or not sick? We'll reorder. We are not in a hurry with them because we did not take rams immediately. We made the decision to take lambs. It is for the upcoming season. By the way, when it comes to Dorpers, their lambing process is quite similar to that of Romanovs. Generally, they have a tendency to give birth to a maximum of up to 5 lambs. Imagine what a hassle it is. You're observing the entire scene. You have 1 lamb that is born. Now envision 5 of them simultaneously. It is not worthwhile to let them out so early. The grass has not even begun to grow. We should wait for at least a couple of weeks before considering it. However, in Russia, it is a different story. Additionally, we have a plentiful amount of feed stocked up. We had no idea that winter would be so short. We could have easily spent a month and a half in the sheepfold without any issues. Well, the Yakut started earlier than usual. It's still about 3 days. The grass will grow well. The main thing is for it to sprout in time and for there to be rains. Today is so beautiful. It drizzled at 5 in the morning and at 5:06. There was drizzle in the morning and it was warm. It was already good. There were no minuses at night. According to them, if you do not study well, you will ultimately find yourself twisting the tails of cows and working in the occupation of a shepherd. This is a nature report that Great, let's proceed with it. I was performing admirably in my academic pursuits. Well, we will summarize the outcomes of the agreement in approximately 2 to 3 weeks. However, today we say goodbye to you. Stay with us. We say goodbye to you, stay with us. Macron has been altering her lingerie for an extended period of time. What's happening here? So it seems that in each small base there are 3 double twos standing alone. And here's a set of twins. There are a lot of twins this year. It turns out that almost 40% are twins. What's kind of nice and pleasant is that there are 5 sets of triplets in this kitting, and it's not over yet. Singles are easier. The ewe rapidly adapts to the voice. When the lamb is by itself, the ewe quickly becomes accustomed to its voice. And when there are 2 of them, they need to stand separately in the pen for a minimum of 1 day. Then at least there for at least 2 days in a separate basket. In the small basket, there are 3 double hives. And since now there are a lot, when Serioja came, we managed to work from 3 in the morning until 3 in the morning and ended up with 42. 42 hives were processed. On the subsequent day, I was rearranging the bases, making additional ones for the double-nosed individuals because I didn't want to knock down their big gang too early in the process. They took a chance and retaliated. It appears that everything turned out positively. Shot an extra one for Dvoinyovs, one for Tronyovs. Here's paint. What else needs painting? During transfer from small base to large one, Lamb ended up with Dvoinyovs. Turns out he stayed there for a day. After a day we noticed he was marked as number 82. Mama Sheep rejected him. And the fact that we relocated 100 individuals to another position. So we took the mother. We went to pick up Mom, brought her separately. The child's lips were already getting cold. About 6-7 hours there, and he would have died. But then Mom, 82, arrived immediately. Mom was pulled, took her without any problems. This unpleasant moment we talked about, let's call it what we'll call it. Let's call it a parade.
A fashionable lamb wearing a fresh coat. In the video, it is evident that his mother, who is a stranger, has embraced him. Despite being tied up, she had absolutely no issue with being fed. In other words, she was completely able to lie down, move around, and use her leg to prevent him from approaching. To the other, tits. She's a tit and a tit, that's all. This is the main story. Duplicated. I do not know how you will manage to fit all of this into a single minute. I believe you will need to insert some clips while I am speaking. The second part will be different. So, let's move on. Now. Are we filming in this location? I need confirmation on the filming location before we proceed further. We applauded. We made the move to production. Tomorrow, I will be flying to Moscow. I have a meeting scheduled with our new partner for the next day. He will also be the director here at the production. Lena just doesn't know it yet. Lena grew up with the director's assistant. Everything was transferred to her, everything that can and cannot be. Specifically for Masha. Masha, look. See, there are folders. There's no mess on the table. Genius prevails over chaos. When everything is in your work, all the papers should be visible. Today the workday is over. It's 8 in the evening. Starting from the field, moving through production, and now heading to Moscow, and finally reaching Krasnodar. This is a trademark. The guys have placed an order for semi-finished products, and we will manufacture these products under their brand. Because the accurate name, I do not recall it, does not matter. Search it on Google. It was a strategically significant move for Sergei to make an error to receive more comments. He certainly did not know what was being written. More precisely, he knew it was written as OKOD, not AKOD, and he didn't offend us at all. I was also asked for people who interrupt from the beginning to watch. This is Sergei. This is Vadim. Vadim can be in the frame. Come into the frame. Show your face. Why? Okay, this is the director of the store who will be opening soon. You can move out of the frame. Lena, please step aside for a moment. Lena is unable to live here around the clock. Nevertheless, she would like to. I am more than sure, right, Lena? Lenya, hello. Congratulations to Lena. She was not present at work today, so... Proceeding to the comments, thank you so much for the congratulations. Extremely pleasant. Thank you for your well wishes. That is also very kind. Is there anything else you'd like to express gratitude for? Thank you for your appreciation. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Goodbye and thank you. All right. With regard to the comments, not necessarily pertaining to the comments, maybe someone wrote in WhatsApp, asked questions, or called inquiring about receiving a grant. Did I already mention this matter? When cleaning up, I didn't mention the main things there. When the competition starts, because the Kafkashnik represents the cooperative, they give extra points. If the Kafkashnik is willing to contribute funds to the cooperative, they will also be eligible to receive extra points as a reward. Igor did a great job negotiating, so it turns out we're fitting into 1,250,000. This includes a meat grinder and a shock freezer. He negotiated it. Trun 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 trun. The litter is of considerable size. It is big and heavy. We are managing, but it is proving to be quite challenging for us. The case is exclusively from the terminated ones. No uterus has died up to this point, indicating that the lamb in the uterus has not expired or come to an end. We're keeping an eye on this. We help everyone give birth if they can't do it on their own. Unfortunately, some things shown in the video cannot be included. This is also interesting. Yet another sigh escapes me. I am not tired at all. I have absolutely no idea what will unfold in the upcoming episode. It feels like everything is resetting now, starting from scratch. Undoubtedly, the cup is the most intriguing aspect. On the other hand, the most exhausting part is the constant joking around. And the cups. These 2 days, they are the most challenging. Well, with a 10-day break, but 2 days. This is the initial cup and the subsequent cup. We attempt to trim the large ones as much as possible in order to avoid having to bathe them once more. Well, that is all. Oh no, not everything. Moscow. Other guys are talking about equipment for tenderizing meat. It's inexpensive and interesting. However, it is certainly not lamb. It would be intriguing and fascinating for us to create appetizers and dehydrate it for the purpose of beer. It would not be bad. Since I also visited Astrakhan, we had negotiations with the fishery. Maybe we will engage in the process of drying and smoking fish. Our premises and capacities allow it. We have the staff, so just assign tasks and keep them busy. In reality, there is a huge amount of work ahead. And we never take on anything lightly. We think 200 times, we think 300 times. Following the process of shock freezing, the area intended for the construction of a separate room in Akhtubinsk will now be utilized, housing a separate freezer and a separate shock freezer, exclusively for the storage of halal dumplings. We do not talk about politics, religion. We have respect for all religions. We have respect for all presidents, with the exception of Macron. In my opinion, I don't think anyone will be upset if I express that he is a bad president. He has the ability to call me, and I will provide a response. He is consistently on the phone. All right, that's acceptable. Vadim, do you want to say something to us? Subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. Stay with us, subscribe, like the video. Subscribe now and don't miss any of our future content. Until cups, well, not exactly. When can we expect the cups? After the shearing process. Prior to the haircut, we additionally offer a haircut at that location. Well, there is a haircut, you know. He arrived, observed the process of shearing. We employ shearers instead of shearing ourselves, as there would be no one available to herd the animals. It's easier this way. They come 5 people, you slaughter 200 heads each. They quickly and manually shear. Let them write in the comments that shearing is needed. No, we will film the haircut, but it will be a 3-minute one. Oh, we like to chat when we have nothing else to do. That is it. Sergey arrived. I thought I would unload and talk to him, but he's constantly tagging along. You end up getting distracted by the camera. Although Masha said, my main critic, that if the video is when at the production or something else, I'm not very natural. On the farm, that's how I am. That is, I move around the city the same way as on the farm. Always dirty, with rams. The main thing is to sit. 2. And familiar, right? Sergey is our cameraman, that's all. Introduced everyone. We had a productive day of shooting. Let's start from the beginning now. Hi, I'm Kirill, and this is Sergey. That's it. It was nice talking to you. Have a great evening.